Every year, millions of people walk out of their doctor's office with a lab result that says borderline or watch and wait, and they feel relieved. They shouldn't. Right now, 1 in 3 American adults over the age of 45 has blood sugar above the normal range and has absolutely no idea. Not because they haven't been tested, but because no one explained what that number actually means. Prediabetes kills silently. By the time it announces itself with real symptoms, your pancreas has already lost roughly half of its working cells. Half gone, permanently, and the most frustrating part, every single one of those cases was reversible. You had a window, a real scientifically documented window, and most people never knew it was open. Your next routine appointment will not cover what I'm about to tell you. The system gets paid when you come back sick, not when you leave healthy. Subscribe to Dr. Dubois and hit like if you want the unfiltered truth. Let's start at the beginning because the word itself is the first problem. Prediabetes. Say it out loud. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? Like a preliminary round before the real event. Like a warning label you can ignore until something actually breaks. I hear this constantly from my patients. Doctor, it's just prediabetes. When I actually have diabetes, I'll deal with it. That exact sentence, I've heard it hundreds of times. And every time I hear it, I know exactly what that person's chart is going to look like in 5 years. Let me be absolutely direct. Prediabetes is a disease. It does not yet have the label that triggers a lifetime prescription, but the biological process that ends in full type 2 diabetes is already running inside your body. The damage has already started. The clock is already ticking. Now let's talk numbers because you need to know these. Not as abstract medical trivia, but as tools that could change your life. When you go for a fasting blood glucose test, that means you eat nothing for at least 8 hours, then get your blood drawn in the morning. The result comes back in milligrams per deciliter. Below 100 mg/dl, normal. 100 to 125, prediabetes. 126 and above, diabetes. Middle band, 100 to 125, is the gray zone. The medical term is impaired fasting glucose. In plain English, your sugar is already too high, but it hasn't crossed the official diabetes threshold yet. There is a second test that matters even more than a single fasting measurement, and most patients have never heard of it. It's called HbA1c or glycated hemoglobin. This isn't a snapshot of what your sugar is right now. It's a 3-month average. A built-in report card from your own bloodstream. Normal, below 5.7%. Prediabetes, 5.7 to 6.4%. Diabetes, 6.5% and above. If you haven't had both of these tests done within the last 6 months, stop reading and set a reminder in your phone right now. Here's the scenario I watch play out over and over again in clinical medicine. A patient comes in, labs show a fasting glucose of 112. The doctor glances at it and says, "Let's monitor this, come back in 6 months." No explanation, no plan, no conversation about what that number means or what to do about it. The patient goes home relieved because no prescription was written, and in our collective mental model, no prescription equals no problem. I've been a physician for 15 years, and I'm not going to defend a system that doesn't serve you. The average primary care appointment in this country runs about 12 minutes. 12 minutes in which a doctor must review your chart, listen to your complaints, order tests, update your records, manage referrals, and check off regulatory boxes. Explaining to you that a fasting glucose of 112 means you have up to a 70% chance of developing full type 2 diabetes within 5 to 7 years, and explaining it in a way that actually lands, there is simply no time for that. This is not malice. This is a system that is structurally built around treating illness, not preventing it. A system that gets reimbursed for your next visit, not for keeping you out of the office. The result is a predictable tragedy. The patient walks out calm. 3 years pass, then 5, and the same person comes back. Now with a fasting glucose of 160. Now with a diagnosis that will follow them for life. Now with a prescription for metformin, a medication that lowers blood sugar that they will take every day for decades. And the worst part of it, this was preventable, not theoretically preventable. Literally, clinically, scientifically preventable. A landmark study in the United States, the Diabetes Prevention Program, enrolled more than 3,000 people with confirmed prediabetes. One group took metformin, another group made structured lifestyle changes, and a third group did nothing. The results were remarkable even to the researchers who ran the trial. Lifestyle change reduced the risk of progressing to full diabetes by 58%. In people over 60 years old, that number was 71%. Metformin achieved 31%. Lifestyle intervention was more than twice as effective as the medication. No pharmaceutical product on the market matches that outcome with that safety profile. Not one. Understand why lifestyle intervention works so powerfully. You need to understand what is actually happening inside your body. Your body is made of trillions of cells. Every one of those cells needs energy to function. That energy comes from glucose, sugar, which enters your bloodstream from food. Every carbohydrate you eat, bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, fruit, cereal, gets broken down into glucose during digestion. So after every meal, glucose rises in your blood. That's normal. The question is, what happens next? Glucose cannot enter most cells on its own. The door is locked. It needs a key. That key is insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. The problem starts when you flood the system. Imagine a diet built primarily on fast carbohydrates. Every time you eat these foods, glucose floods into your bloodstream rapidly and in large quantities. Your pancreas responds by pumping out large amounts of insulin. Over time, your cells start to become desensitized to insulin. The key is there, but the lock is broken. This is insulin resistance. Your pancreas does not give up. It compensates by producing more and more insulin. For a while, this works. The door opens with effort, glucose gets in, your fasting blood sugar looks acceptable on a lab report, but inside, your pancreas is working 3 shifts without a day off. It is burning through its reserves. Eventually, the beta cells, the specific cells inside the pancreas that manufacture insulin, begin to exhaust and die. Beta cells, once lost, do not regenerate. When enough of them are gone, insulin production drops below what the body needs. Blood sugar starts to climb. Prediabetes, then if nothing changes, diabetes. Here is the clinical reality that most patients never hear. By the time a person is officially diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, their pancreas has already lost approximately 50% of its functional beta cells. Half permanently gone. That is why diabetes management with medication is necessary, because you are now running a factory at half capacity and you need help. But on medications, you are managing a loss. You cannot replace those cells. At the prediabetes stage, the majority of your beta cells are still alive. Exhausted, strained, working beyond their capacity, but alive. The lock is worn, but it can still be repaired. Reduce the constant flooding. Change what you send through the door. Give the system a chance to recover, and it will. Now let's deal with the myths. The first myth, prediabetes is basically fine. I'll deal with it when it becomes real diabetes. This is the most common thing I hear, and it is clinically the most dangerous. Doctor, my sugar is 112. When it hits 126, I'll act. You know what that sounds like to me. A person standing on a slippery deck, seeing exactly how slippery it is and saying, when I fall, then I'll grab the railing. There is no logic there. The second myth, my diabetes is genetic. My mother had it, my grandmother had it, there's nothing I can do. Genetics loads the gun. Lifestyle pulls the trigger. The third myth, I already cut out sugar, I don't put it in anything. What I'm talking about is everything that drives a rapid blood glucose spike. White bread is sugar, white rice is sugar. The fourth myth, honey is natural sugar, it's different, it won't cause diabetes. From the standpoint of what it does to your blood sugar, honey is approximately 75 to 80% simple sugars. Your pancreas does not read the label. The fifth myth, after 60, elevated blood sugar is just part of aging, it's normal. The clinical threshold for normal fasting glucose below 100 mg/dl does not change based on your birthday. Not at 30, not at 50, not at 75. The sixth myth, and possibly the most dangerous of all, if my doctor didn't prescribe anything, treatment isn't necessary. The treatment for prediabetes is lifestyle change. That is not a consolation prize. It is, as the diabetes prevention program showed, more effective than medication. Here are 5 specific steps, not 20, not a complete overhaul of your existence. 5. Step 1. Rebuild your plate. Remove the word diet from this conversation. Divide your plate mentally into 4 equal sections. 2 of those sections, half the plate, are non-starchy vegetables. 1 section, 1/4, is protein. The remaining quarter and only 1/4 is what used to fill the whole plate, grains, potatoes, bread. Step 2. Move after you eat. After a meal, your blood sugar naturally rises. If you get up and walk for 15 minutes, even slowly, your working muscles absorb glucose directly from your bloodstream without needing insulin. Your cells fuel themselves directly. Your pancreas gets a rest. The glucose spike after the meal is reduced by 20 to 30%. Tomorrow after your lunch, do not sit back down immediately. Set a timer for 15 minutes and walk wherever you can. Step 3. Take your sleep seriously. When you sleep fewer than 6 hours a night, or when your sleep is poor quality, your body elevates levels of cortisol, the stress hormone which raises blood sugar. People who regularly sleep fewer than 6 hours per night have a 40 to 50% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. This is independent of diet, weight, and exercise. Step 4. Learn to read your own signals. Persistent fatigue after meals, increased thirst especially at night, frequent nighttime urination, cuts that heal slowly, tingling in the fingers or feet. Buy a home glucose meter at the pharmacy. Measure twice per week, always first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Step 5. Eliminate liquid sugar. 2 teaspoons of sugar in a coffee, 3 cups a day, 6 teaspoons. Add a glass of juice at breakfast, even freshly squeezed, and you add another 20 to 30 grams of concentrated sugar. By the end of the day, you may have consumed 80 to 100 grams of sugar from beverages alone. Liquid sugar has no fiber. It hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave. Replace juice, soda, and sweetened drinks with still water, sparkling water, herbal tea, or water infused with cucumber, lemon, mint, or ginger. If your fasting blood glucose stays consistently above 120 mg/dl despite several months of genuine effort, that is a signal that your pancreas may need pharmacological support. If your HbA1c is above 6.2%, I want you to see an endocrinologist. If you are losing weight rapidly without trying, the scale dropping 2 to 4 pounds per week for no reason, see a doctor this week. If you experience severe thirst, frequent urination, and profound fatigue all at once, do not wait for your next scheduled appointment. Make that call today. Prediabetes is not near normal. It is a disease in which the damage has already begun, but it is the one stage where the biology can still be reversed. Your pancreas is strained, not gone. Give it what it needs and it can come back. Do not do all 5 at once. Choose the one that feels most manageable today and do only that for 1 week. Add the next one the week after. By month 2, you will have 3 habits in place. By month 3, the results will be in your numbers.